Okay. Hey, everybody. I'm Jim, and this is my cousin Josh. Say hello to everybody.
What's up?
And, recently, there's been a lot of hype about the new Godzilla movie. And while I haven't seen it yet, I kind of got a bug up my ass about watching some old Godzilla movies and making some videos with them. And since this motherfucker and I have been watching Godzilla since we were knee-high to a fucking grasshopper, I figured it would be cool if I got some of the old Godzilla movies, read all of the old Godzilla movies, and got my cousin over here to watch them and talk about them. Kind of a vlog slash podcast style thing, I guess you could say. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to watch the movie, and then we're just going to turn on the camera and ramble about it. I might edit it down to the salient portions. I might just upload the full fucking 2 hours of us talking. We don't have any of this planned out. We're just gonna watch the movie, turn on the fucking camera and go. Pretty much. But I figured we would do a little intro. This might even be its own like intro video by itself. So how long have we been watching Godzilla?
Shit, I don't know.
What did we fucking start with? Was it the original?
The original. I know I've had a VHF version of Godzilla King of the Monsters since as long as I can remember.
Yeah, this motherfucker's had the tapes since for fucking ever. We used to sit down and watch those movies all the fucking time. Like, we never ever got tired of the Godzilla movies.
Yeah, that was our thing.
Yeah,
He'd come over to my house, I'd go over to his house. What do you want to do? Let's watch Godzilla.
Either that or we'd play like Mega Man X or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've seen pretty much all of the old Godzilla movies, but it's been years. Like, the only ones that we haven't seen are like, like
Godzilla Raids Again.
Yeah, Godzilla Raids Again, which like not like that one didn't even debut in America as a Godzilla movie. That was I think it was called Gigantus the Fire Monster.
Some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
But I'd honestly have to see a list just to tell you the ones I haven't seen.
Yeah. Me too. I know I haven't seen Space Godzilla and Megaguirus.
Nah, I got both of those. I think I haven't seen one of the Mecha Godzillas. There's one of them in there.
There's like 3 Mecha Godzilla movies because they did Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, Terror of Mechagodzilla,
Godzilla against Mechagodzilla,
and then I think there was a Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2 somewhere.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I remember getting that one, but I don't remember ever seeing it. Like, I have no idea what the fuck happens in that movie.
Godzilla Destroy All Monsters.
Yeah, we haven't seen Destroy All Monsters.
Yeah. That'll be a new one for us. I actually bought that sumbitch for my nephew.
Never got to watch it.
Didn't watch it first.
Son of a bitch. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty much what we're gonna do, and we're gonna start at the very beginning with Gojira, the original Japanese Godzilla movie. Back to the fucking roots, back to the very beginning. And we're going to be working through all of the Godzilla movies in sequence, up until the new one, 2014.
What?
Which I'm planning. This is what day is this? This is Sunday, the 18th of May.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Do we have to watch the 98 version?
Yes.
God.
Yes, that one too. I thought about it. I thought about excluding that one, but I think if we're going to go through all of them, if we're going to watch all of them, then we have to watch 98 too, just so we can sit there and bitch about it.
So
if for no other reason than just to bitch about it.
So we can watch the Rain Man kill Godzilla.
Yeah. We're going to watch Rain Man kill Godzilla. But yeah, that's basically the plan. So I hope you guys enjoy these videos. I hope you enjoy the colorful commentary from myself and my cousin. And,
I don't care either way.
And with that, I guess this little intro video is over. So, yeah, be prepared, because we're going to be putting these things out as fast as possible, because I've never been more hyped about Godzilla in my life. And that's fucking saying something. So,
yeah, that is.
We might take one out of sequence and talk about 2014, because we're going to see it either Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
He's already seen it. I haven't seen it yet. I did watch Digi and Tommy's videos on it, and I have very mixed expectations on this one, so I don't know what to think. I won't know what to think until I see it. But
top five.
Yeah, he fucking loved it. But we might take one out of sequence and just talk about that, or we might watch it and record it and then wait to upload that one until we get through the rest of them and do it in actual sequence. I don't know. It depends on how fucking excited I am about the movie when I see it, or how badly I hate it.
You'll probably hate it just because I like it.
Oh, come on now. But alright, yeah. We're going to go ahead and cut this here. We're going to go watch the original. And when we talk about a certain scene, I'll put shit up on screen so you know what we're fucking talking about and everything. But yeah, we're going to go watch Gojira, so we'll catch you guys on the other side of the movie.
Sorry.
Okay, well, we just got done watching the original Gojira from 1954, and during the course, this is just kind of a little update. During the course of watching this movie, we came to the conclusion that it would probably be a better idea from now on if we recorded it as reaction videos. And then if we felt like discussing it after we watched the movie, then we would do another one of these type of videos. Because we fucking couldn't keep our mouths shut we talked through the whole goddamn movie, just...
Yeah, and honestly, we probably covered a lot of stuff that we're not going to be able to remember.
Yeah, it was fucking bad. I felt bad for not having the camera running, but honestly, we were 20 minutes into the video when I brought that up?
Yeah, 20, 30 minutes or something.
We were 20 or 30 minutes into the movie, and I wasn't about to start the movie over and record us watching it
a second time.
Yeah, a second fucking time.
The same.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been the same. It wouldn't have been nearly as entertaining. So from now on, we'll record reaction videos, and if we decide to do this whole back and forth thing after the movie's over, then we'll go ahead and do that and upload it. But so yeah,
great movie.
Godzilla 1954, Gojira. Fucking incredible.
Always.
Just goddamn. I don't even know what there is you can possibly say about this movie without sounding like a pretentious jackass. Because that's basically what we did throughout the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
We just sat there and sounded like pretentious jackasses for a fucking hour and a half or however fucking long that movie is.
Hey, what you calling a jackass?
I called myself one too. But anyway, yeah. So, just there's so much to talk about. Okay, to put this in perspective, we grew up with the Raymond Burr version. I think that was the first Godzilla movie we ever saw. Yeah. It was King of the Monsters. And we have watched it millions of times.
No doubt.
I mean, that's probably a bit of an exaggeration, but...
Yeah, I think my VHS is about worn out by now.
Probably. But watching the original, fucking chills ran up my spine when we started it up, and the way it starts off is with that very distinctive roar.
That leather on bass.
That fucking classic Godzilla roar. it just, oh god, it just sends shivers down your spine because you know you're about to get into some shit when you hear Godzilla roar.
Yeah.
And then it starts up with the classic Godzilla theme. The
never gets old.
Yeah, that, oh god, it's just it's such a good orchestral piece. And the way they make the movie is they put the credits at the beginning.
Wow.
Which honestly, I've been thinking about this because I got a couple of collections of some old sci-fi movies, and the way that they used to run it back in the day, was they would have the credits run first.
No.
So you would watch, or even old horror movies, just older movies in general, they would have the credits run first. So you would get like 4 minutes of finding out who's playing who and all of these actors and shit like that.
Kind of like
and then
Power Rangers.
Kinda.
Used to be. I mean, it'd have
like in the original series.
Yeah.
And then they would show the movie, and then when the movie was over, it was fucking over, and you could exit the theater, and you didn't have to worry about after. Though that is kind of an advantage to having the
scenes at the end of the credits.
Yeah, like how Marvel does.
Yeah.
But anyway, you get this build up, and they play the whole fucking theme with Godzilla roaring intermittently, and I had the volume jacked up all the way on my laptop so that we could hear everything, because he's kind of got like hearing issues, but it sounded like they were trying to fucking break my speakers with the awesomeness.
Yeah,
It was just too fucking good.
That original roar just never gets old.
It really doesn't, man. I wouldn't have been. I honestly, I would not be disappointed at all if in the new movie, when we finally go and see it, if they use the old Godzilla roar. I heard that they used a new one, that they mixed it, and I heard that they mixed it really well, and that the new Godzilla roar is really good.
It is.
But if they had used the old one, I wouldn't be butthurt a bit.
It's different, but it's still a good roar. But, I mean, honestly, could you imagine stepping into a theater in 1954 in Japan to watch this shit, and the first thing
that you hear
is that roar?
Because that is the first thing that plays.
Yeah.
It's just the roar. It's just like you walk in, you got your fucking popcorn and your drink, and you sit down, and all of a sudden the fucking screen lights up, and you just hear that. No fucking explanation. No nothing. It's just you hear the roar, and it roars like 2 or 3 times.
No. And
then the theme kicks in, and the credits start rolling, and you know you're in for some serious shit.
No doubt. I mean, that is by far one of my favorite openings for
a movie ever.
Yeah, no doubt.
Period. But
I mean, honestly, the opening used to give me chills when I was a kid.
Even with the Raymond Burr one.
Yeah, even with the Raymond Burr one.
Like I haven't watched the Raymond Burr movie in for fucking ever. Like we're about after we finish jiving about Gojira, we're gonna watch King of the Monsters. And we're gonna do the like reaction video thing. But
Mr. Ironsides.
Like even with that, like it especially if you grew up with the old school Godzilla movies, it touches something in your soul. It really does. Like it strikes to that primal human fear.
Yeah. That
fear of the unknown that we have.
That fear of something that we cannot control.
Of being powerless.
Yeah. I mean, all military might in the world cannot stop this creature. That's scary.
Game over, man! Game over!
I mean, it's just like,
I mean,
oh,
I
well,
kid,
we're
but
fucked now.
that really is fucking terrifying.
I mean, damn.
But okay. So credits aside, then they have the setup. They have the guys on the ship, and they're playing music and they're singing and having a good time. And then all of a sudden, the fucking ocean lights up and the boat explodes.
No.
And
no other explanation.
No, actually, and it was so good. Like, talk about a mystery. Like in most monster movies nowadays that I've seen, like most recent monster movies, when they have the monster attack within the first 5 minutes, which is what this movie fucking does, they show a little hint of the monster.
Yeah.
They show something, just even if it's just a glimpse.
They still show something.
That did not fucking happen in 1954. That's some bullshit. No, we're going to blow up a boat, and we're not going to tell you what did it.
And it is a great intro. I mean, you start it off, it's calm, the guys just sitting there chilling,
everybody's hanging out,
playing their music, and then boom, shit went south. That fast.
And you have no idea what happened.
No.
Unless you've seen the fucking movie before. Like, living nowadays, you know the fucking Godzilla lore. It's not that fucking hard to figure out what happened. But first time seeing this, no experience with Godzilla whatsoever.
I mean, boat explodes.
What the fuck?
What happened?
And then they do the sensible thing.
Send out a rescue boat.
They send out a rescue boat. That boat blows up.
No.
That boat gets sunk, and they do the scene where they have all of the people coming in.
Yeah, into the ship, into the shipping masters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into the company offices. I think it was.
Office, yeah.
はい、とにかく明朝までお待ちください。ヘリコプターも出動していますし、コーズと指揮にも現場へ急行中ですから、その報告を受けてからでないと、何とも申し上げられません。あのね、もっと捜査の船を増したらどうですか。2隻ぐらいじゃどうにもしようがないじゃないですか。いや、決して2隻だけに任しておくというわけではありません。全力を挙げて捜査を続けていきますから、その点ご安心ください。
And they have all these people crying like, we want to know something. Are there any survivors? Will you scale up the investigation and everything like that? And everybody's really fucking concerned about this. And then they start scaling up their investigation.
Yeah.
A little bit
more ships out.
They send more ships out. And
they find survivors.
They find a couple of survivors, but the survivors aren't able to tell them anything.
No, because they died. Yeah,
they fired. What was it? They died from like radiation poisoning or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we get to
Odo Island.
Huh? And they're keeping it because I guess the people on Odo Island had like heard that the ships went down or something.
Yeah, because they're all sitting
like
around.
That's something that they never really went into. They just kind of like go to Odo Island.
Yeah,
and there's all these
the whole village is sitting on the beach. I mean, maybe it was
just like 30 or 40 people out there on the beach with these big fires.
Maybe it's just beach day.
Maybe.
Odo Island goes to the beach,
and then all of a sudden that one ratty ass motherfucker, he washes up on that makeshift raft.
Yep.
And they all freak out over that. And they bring him in, and apparently he's like a member of the village or someone knows him.
Yeah. It was
or something like that.
The kid's brother.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Shinkichi?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Shinkichi's brother. Shinkichi's brother dies later.
Yeah, it was some random guy's brother.
Yeah, it was just it might have been some random dude that they just knew that was like a member of the tribe or on the island or something like that. But
no, because I'm pretty sure when he's popping him in the face, he's from brother.
That's good build up right there.
Yeah. I mean, because at this point, you have
no idea. You have no conception of what this monster is. Yeah. You don't even know what's happening. Like going into this completely blind, you have no fucking idea what's going on. Some boats get blown up, and then people are dying. This motherfucker, one of them says it was like the ocean exploded.
Yeah.
And then this one motherfucker washes up on Odo Island, and he talks about a monster. I think. Yeah. I think he mentions a monster.
And then the old guy says it's Godzilla.
Yeah, and after the scene fades to black, they go to the Odo Islanders preparing their fishing boats, and they're talking about how bad the fishing is.
Yeah.
And how this is a disaster for them because they're a fucking poor island tribe, and they live off of their livestock and their fishing. And everybody's like, "Oh my god, the fishing is so bad. It's just we didn't catch anything." And then the old man is like, "Well, it must be Gojira."
And then the young woman just backtalks him.
Yeah, she's just "What do you know, old man? You crazy old fart. There ain't no Godzilla. What the fuck is you talking about?"
Yappari Gojira かもしんねえ。
またじいさまのゴジラか。今時そんなものいるもんかよ。
おい、昔からの言い伝えばかにすると、今におめえたちはまっこゴジラの餌食にしなきゃなんねえぞ。
And which I mean, I brought this up when we were watching the movie. It really does make me wonder. I mean, I'm kind of rehashing, going from memory here. We already kind of went over this, but how do the Islanders know about Godzilla? Because I mean, what I had said earlier was they had no concept. Modern people, modern science has never heard of this monster. It's never started attacking boats before. There's never been anything like this happening before, and this shit starts going on, the fishing starts getting bad, and this old man is like, "It's Godzilla." And he's right, but where is this fucking legend coming from? Because they used to, he mentions later on, when they're doing the exorcism ceremony, that they used to sacrifice virgins to Godzilla so that he wouldn't eat the entire island. And I'm just wondering, was this the King Kong village from the old 1930s or whenever that fucking movie, the original King Kong movie, where they had the village and they would sacrifice virgins to King Kong, and King Kong was an actual fucking monster that they had to contend with? Or was it just their version of natural disasters or something like that?
Well, I mean, you have said legend of Godzilla, and then you have
the actual
monster, who at that point has no name, and said monster fits descriptors for legend. So why not attribute the name to the monster who fits the legend?
I mean, no, I get where you're coming from with that. I just would have liked it better if they would have gone into the legend of Odo Island a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because that's a little bit confusing that the old man knows who Godzilla is, or knows what Godzilla is.
Yeah, and if you don't think that in depth of it.
Yeah, you don't really think about it. And then you watch it, and you watch it back a second time, and you're like, wait a minute.
How does he know? Yeah.
But anyway, after that, they have the storm. Yeah, the fucking storm. That was genius.
Oh, no doubt.
It was just played out so well. And okay, it starts out with the wind, and the ocean is clashing against the rocks. And they fucking, everybody's worried about that. And then the Shinkichi kid, he gets up and he goes outside to see what's going on, because I guess he just got a fucking wild hair up his ass about something. No. And then his brother looks up and sees the monster and does that fucking hysterical freak out face.
Yeah. The little teen girl scared.
Shinkichi!
Shinkichi! 出てく!
Shinkichi! Shinkichi!
あんちゃー
fucking runs over to his wife. And then, like, you can hear, like, the footsteps in the background. And there's, the way they played the music in that scene.
Yeah, I mean...
I remember the music being really well executed at that point.
I mean, when it starts off, it's barely audible.
Really low.
And then it just builds up until the point where you're on the exterior of the house.
Like, it might as well be the music breaking the house down.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it expertly done.
Just perfectly executed. And then he actually had to point this out to me, and I am ashamed. I am ashamed. I'm about to admit my shame to everybody who watches this video.
Slack ass.
I'm slack. I'm sorry. There's one scene when the house is crumbling down. You see in the top left portion of the screen, you see Godzilla's leg, and it's only for an instant. It happens so fucking quick, but Godzilla's leg is visible right there. And that's another thing about the build-up of this movie. Like, building up to the monster, to the dramatic reveal.
Because by this point, you're already, 20, 30 minutes in?
Something like that. It was a ways in.
I mean, because it's a 90-minute movie.
I think it's a little bit more than that. Hang on, let me actually, I can check. Yeah, it's about 90 minutes, 95 minutes.
No.
So it's a 90-minute movie, so about 20 minutes in, we got our first glimpse of the monster.
And it is just a glimpse of his leg.
It really is. It's just this little bitty thing. But if you're not paying attention like I was, you'll totally fucking miss it. I missed it for years. I've been watching this movie for 20 fucking years, man.
And it is in the Raymond Burr version.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've been watching this movie for 20 fucking years with that scene in it, and I never noticed that ever. But that's how slick they were. They kept the monster on the down low until they were ready for their dramatic reveal. They just gave you little hints.
And one thing that I just noticed, I'm gonna pay attention to see if it's in the Raymond Burr version.
Yeah, when we rewatched that one.
Yeah, because apparently at the beginning, when all the people are gathered up on...
When all the Odo Islanders are on the beach.
Yeah, when all the people from Odo Island are on the beach. There's apparently 2 topless women in the top left that neither of us had ever noticed before either.
Nope.
I mean, I saw it right before it switched, and we had to...
Yeah, he's the one who fucking caught it, Mr. Attention to Detail over here, when it involves titties.
Hey, I caught the leg part too.
You caught the leg part too. Checking out Godzilla's gams.
Hey. Don't hate the player, hate the game. So, I had to go back and...
But yeah, there's actually a couple of topless Islanders.
Yeah. I mean...
Like, they're not attractive.
No, just saggy old lady titties.
But, hey...
Not gonna judge.
They're there.
No.
Okay, now what happens after the attack?
They go to...
The Islanders go
to
Japan to actually, the Japanese government to actually request help, and they're given all of their testimonials and shit in front of everybody.
Which leads to a
research party.
No.
And I really like the point. Like, this is another thing about how subtle this movie is. Like, they actually bring up the point about they lost livestock.
Yeah.
That was a big concern.
Because the guy's actually talking about how many cows that he lost.
Like, he names numbers.
Yeah.
He gives numbers for how much. Like, it was like 13 cows and 9 pigs or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that really gives an air of realism to it, because these islanders are poor people, and their livestock, and like I said earlier, their livestock and their fishing is really
how they survive.
Yeah, that's really fucking important to them.
I mean, you take that away, and they're dead. And like right now, what we were discussing earlier, their fishing sucks.
Yeah, so their livestock is
what they're gonna depend on to live.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have all their eggs in one basket, but if Godzilla comes along and eats all the fish and kills all the livestock, then they're fucked.
Yeah.
But There was another thing I wanted to bring up. Another thing like that with the well. Because later, when the research party goes to Odo Island, they're talking about they're doing their Geiger counter shit around the well, and they're like, don't use this well, it's irradiated.
当分の間この井戸水も使わないでください。危険ですから。
And the people are like, we can't use the fucking well anymore? This is fucking terrible. So Godzilla basically came through and, like, wrecked this whole island's shit. Like, this whole village is fucked because of Godzilla. Which is what really gets to me about this movie. Not in a bad way. In this movie, Godzilla really is a force of nature. It's not... Like in the you know what I'm talking about, in the old the giant monster fight era Godzilla, like the what is it, the Showa and the Heisei era Godzillas. It's all about the fucking giant monster fights. Godzilla is like this force for good, and he's a defender of humanity and shit like that. In this movie, Godzilla isn't good or evil.
He's just
there and pissed off.
Huh? I mean,
and that the pains that they took to stress that Godzilla is not this evil monstrous force. He's just a monstrous force. He doesn't have good or evil on his fucking radar yet. We'll get to those movies. Fucking trust me. But anyway.
I mean, well, like you were saying, about Godzilla not being good or evil. I mean, you got everybody wanting to destroy Godzilla. And then you have the sole person begging for his survival.
The one guy who wants Godzilla to survive just so he can study it.
Dr. Yamane.
And that's one of the best character arcs I have ever seen. Period. In not just in a giant monster movie, but in a movie in general. Because Dr. Yamane goes from this well-respected scientist, and like he's one of the first people that they call.
Yeah.
He comes in and he's like, well, Godzilla, might be from this stratum, and he brings out all these charts and shit, and he displays this knowledge, and he talks about the radioactive sand and the trilobite and all that stuff. And then over the course of the movie, he kind of degenerates into this broken man.
It's like the hunt to kill Godzilla is just slowly killing him inside.
Yeah, because he's that true scientist.
Yeah. He
sees something that's never been seen before, and he immediately wants to preserve it for study.
Yeah.
Just that pure scientist. There's a lot of danger to people from this creature, but there's also a lot we can learn from it.
Well,
and that's what's foremost in his mind.
Well.
10時、堂々の陣形を整えて、大戸島西方海上に進出した10隻のフリゲート艦隊は、10時17分、命令一課一斉に攻撃の火蓋を切りました。
どうかしたんでしょうか。先生は動物学者だから、ゴジラを殺したくないんだ。
But everybody else is thinking about their survival.
Yeah, which, is why I can sympathize with Dr. Yamane, but he was in the wrong.
Yeah.
According to my moral compass, Dr. Yamane, Godzilla needs to die in this movie.
No doubt.
He's just a fucking total threat to humanity at large, period.
Not being good, not being evil. At this point in time,
like
humanity is no longer the alpha predator on the planet.
Exactly. If we could stop, typhoons, or hurricanes or earthquakes, then we would. If we could make it so that those natural disasters wouldn't happen anymore, then we would be all over that shit like white on rice.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with Godzilla. You know, if we figure out a way to stop this creature, because Godzilla really, like I keep harping on this, Godzilla is a force of nature. It's not that he's good or evil, he's just like an earthquake or a tsunami. He shows up and wrecks shit and then leaves. And we have to stop it. So, you know, with earthquakes, we build earthquake-safe buildings and shit like that that can take the
tremors and
the tremors and stuff. With flooding, we either don't build in floodplains or we take preventative measures. You know, with Godzilla, the only feasible way to stop that
unless you're a dumbass and live in New Orleans. I had to say it. I had to say it.
But with Godzilla, the only feasible way to stop this force of nature is to kill it. That's it. So, I mean, I sympathize with Dr. Yamane wanting to study it. I would want to study Godzilla too. I mean, I know that like my degree is like I'm studying sociology and religion, but I mean, if I was in his situation with the schooling that he had and his disciplines and shit like that, I would want to study Godzilla too. I completely sympathize with where Dr. Yamane is coming from. That doesn't mean he's right.
The sociological impact of a giant monster attack.
I can break that down
and the theological ramifications.
I can break that down in 3 words. Shit's fucked up. But anyway, okay.
That'd be a snafu.
Anyway, so Godzilla shows up, and I love the fucking like when they finally see Godzilla for the first time.
Yeah,
that's just fucking incredible.
Well, we missed a part though. All
right,
back when Yamane is presenting his findings of Odo Island.
With the sand and the trilobite picture? Yeah.
Wait, are we going back to Odo Island for the first presentation?
The first presentation is
Odo Island.
Yeah. I think that was from the Odo Island research team.
Alright, yeah.
Like after they got back.
Yeah. Sorry,
So we're going like okay, so let's talk about the first time.
Yeah, we're skipping around here a little bit.
We're gonna, like I said, this is why we decided to do reaction videos after this, because we're not going to be able to keep our shit straight.
Yeah.
When we're just talking about the movie.
Because we sit here and talk about this shit all night.
Yeah, we really could, and we did throughout the whole fucking movie. There were parts where we weren't even fucking paying attention to the movie, where we just like missed shit.
Yeah, and
just because we were sitting here bullshitting.
Here we are again.
Sitting
here bullshitting, talking about the movie.
But like let's go back to when Godzilla first appears. Like
Terror.
actually appears.
Terror.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have all these people. The dude's done rang the bell. Godzilla on the mountain. All these people. I mean, you got old school guys running up there with their katanas. You got a couple of guys with guns. You got women with hoes and shovels.
Like they're gonna fucking do something. I mean, even with the fucking rifles. But I mean, at least they took the precaution of arming themselves. At least there was that.
Yes. They get to the top of the mountain, and Godzilla pops up over there like, "What's up, biatch?" And it's just terror. Dr. Yamane and a couple other guys snap a couple photos, and
but the terror is still palpable. Yeah. Like you can still I really have to give the actors credit on that. Like there was nothing there. Yeah. They were just on this gigantic ass hill, this big fucking mountain, and there was nothing there. But as soon as someone was like, "Okay, Godzilla appeared," they lost their shit.
Yeah, I mean it was very believable.
It really was, man. Especially because you can tell that was like green screened in or something like that when the monster pops up. And my favorite part of the first appearance of Godzilla, like when you actually first get to see him when he pops up over the mountain, is later when they are doing the Odo Island research presentation.
Okay.
And Dr. Yamane is sitting there, and he's like flipping through the slides, and then all of a sudden it pops up on this one picture of Godzilla, like up on top of the mountain, and you know that that's a fucking painting. You fucking know it, man. Like, that's so obviously a painting. It's painful. Cause when Godzilla first pops up over the mountain, it's all like, and then when you get into the presentation and they take the picture, Godzilla's up on top of the mountain like, paint me like one of your French girls.
仮にこれを大戸島の伝説に従ってゴジラと呼称します。これは我々が大戸島で遭遇したゴジラの頭部であります。
Like, he's in this regal, dignified position with his hand up on the mountain and everything. It's like, you know somebody fucking... Because when they were fucking... when they were running away...
Miss Winslet, are you ready for your close-up?
Because when they're running away, you see, like, Yamane and the other guy. They, like, pop a couple of pictures, and then they haul ass. And you know for a fact that none of those pictures were straight enough to capture Godzilla like that.
No.
They act like the fucking monster was posing for them.
I mean, maybe with today's technology.
Maybe. If they weren't, like, pissing themselves.
Yeah. But back then, I mean, no. There's no way they got a photograph of that quality.
Or of Godzilla in that pose.
Yeah.
That was just fucking ridiculous.
No. Gay Godzilla.
But, anyway, okay, so what next?
Alright. After Yamane gives his presentation, one guy stands up.
Oh, the argument, yeah. I fucking love that scene.
Says, this is so important, it should not be made public. And then a woman from the audience stands up and says, it's important enough that it should be made public.
Yeah.
Which is one of those big things. I mean, because it's either a government cover-up or the chance of mass pandemonium.
But, I mean, that's the thing, is that the guy was taking the geopolitical situation into account.
Yes.
Like, 1954, when this movie was being filmed, World War II had just ended.
Yeah. I mean, less than 10 years prior.
Like on a big scale, that's not a lot of fucking time.
No.
I mean, that's not really a lot of time anyway you slice it.
No.
So World War I had just ended, and Dr. Yamane... Two, my bad. And Dr. Yamane had just got up there and talked at length about how Godzilla was a fucking, a product of nuclear weaponry.
Yeah.
Nuclear, weaponized atomic power testing. So, like, that revelation that Godzilla is the product of nuclear weapons, it really does, that really did have the power, within the context of the universe, that really does have the power to destabilize political relations fucking planet-wide.
Yeah. I mean, because, well, honestly, just about everybody was doing nuclear tests in the Pacific at that point.
Pretty much.
I mean, we're in Nevada, several other countries.
Yeah, a few others. I think maybe Russia. I don't know. I'm not too. I'd have to bone up on my history a little bit.
Yeah.
But the principle remains that had this become common knowledge that Godzilla's origins
was a product of nuclear testing,
not only would that send shockwaves of panic across Japan because Godzilla was right fucking there.
No.
It would have sent shockwaves of panic across the world.
Yeah. what could happen.
And that was the point of the fucking movie.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much the whole premise in this movie is anti-nuclear war.
Basically.
I mean,
like, weaponized nuclear power is bad.
I mean, Godzilla is pretty much a nuclear bomb in physical form.
Well, in, like, personified.
Yeah, personified. Yeah.
Or monster-onified.
Monstified.
Something.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a technical term for it, but
probably.
We're not about to work it out here.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
But anyway.
I mean, he shows up out of nowhere, destroys Tokyo, and then leaves it just in a burning heap.
Total ruin.
Which is pretty much the same thing which happened at Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Pretty fucking much, yeah.
The Japanese people had just lived through this less than 10 years prior.
And now they're making allegorical movies to kind of relate their experience to other people.
Yeah, of why nuclear weapons are so bad.
I mean, that's one of the reasons that this movie honestly is so powerful.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, no other movie I've ever seen can pull off the whole nukes are bad, and this is why.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, they have the whole... Like, they skirt around the issue of Hiroshima and Nagasaki so elegantly. It's almost like a ballet.
Yeah. I mean, it's all in the undertone and...
like, they're never saying, this is because America bombed us.
Yeah. I really think that some of that's changed in the Raymond Burr version for the American release, because I think that with Japan having made that movie in '54, there'd probably still be hard feelings.
The American movie came out in '54 too, though.
Yeah.
Like, it got so fucking popular that America was like, we have to capitalize on this shit.
But I'm pretty sure that they changed some things in the Raymond Burr version so as not to piss off the American people.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because, I mean, especially the end. I mean, at the end of the Burr version, it's all...
I'm sure there's, like, a voiceover.
Yeah, it's all Raymond Burr talking shit about how brave Sirrizal was. And this one, it's just like, this is why nuclear testing and weapons are so bad.
And these just horribly destructive weapons.
Yeah.
Like the H-bomb and the A-bomb and the neutron bombs and shit like that. That's why all of this is so bad, is because it's not because they weren't coming out and saying it's nothing so fucking transparent and stupid as these weapons are bad because they could make giant monsters.
Yeah.
These weapons are bad because they destroy people's lives.
Yeah.
And that's what Godzilla did. It came through, pulled a Miley Cyrus, came through like a wrecking ball.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Really?
Yeah.
I came in like a wrecking ball. I never hit so hard in love. All I wanted was to break your walls. All you ever did was wreck me. Yeah, you wrecked me.
And Godzilla came through like a wrecking ball.
I don't even want to talk to you right now. No. Now, you take your wrecking ball and shove it up your ass.
I'm not a fan of Miley Cyrus. It's just a useful metaphor.
Pull the Miley Cyrus.
Well, let's be honest. That was fucking destructive on the whole music scene.
Came in like a wrecking ball?
Anyway. They weren't trying to say these bombs are bad because there's a lot of other movies out there, like Them, the movie about the giant ants. It's just called Them, And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend looking up Them. Them is an awesome movie. But, or The Black Scorpion, where, like, atomic testing goes on, and regular creatures are blown up to massive proportions and start fucking up humanity. Like, that was the message with those.
No.
It was like the uncertain effects.
No.
The shit that we don't know about with atomic testing. It could have effects on the wildlife. It could really come back and backfire on us. Godzilla...
And I hate to say it, the 98 version did that too.
Really?
Yeah, because that's what created that stupid little Zilla.
That's what created Zilla?
Was French... the French government testing nuclear weapons in French Guiana.
Well, but, like, that was the message with those movies. Like, those kind of monster movies. And in Godzilla, like you said, Godzilla is a personified A-bomb.
Yeah.
He just walks in, wrecks shit, and leaves. And that's basically what an A-bomb does.
Right.
And it was about the destructive capabilities that humanity has, especially with Serizawa's oxygen destroyer.
Yeah. And, I mean, you have Serizawa there. He has created his oxygen destroyer, which, honestly, to me is scarier than an atomic bomb. I mean, just to be perfectly honest, I'd rather barbecue in an instant rather than have all the oxygen sucked out of my lungs. And
or body, as that appears to do.
I mean, honestly, I'd rather just cook, because
that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I'd rather just go up in the atomic explosion.
But anyway,
But you have him. He's created this weapon. And then you have Godzilla. You have nuclear weapons personified in this giant monster. And then
project a little.
Huh?
Like, talk a little louder. I want to make sure that the camera gets it.
Okay, you have...
Don't worry about it. Just go ahead. Go ahead. Because you were making a really good point there.
Yeah. You have... I've done lost.
You have Serizawa
Yeah,
with the oxygen destroyer, and then you have Godzilla,
Godzilla,
who is nuclear weapons personified.
Yeah. So, he has this really hard choice that he has to make. And, I mean, he's torn between this giant monster that's here now, this one weapon that he has, which could be mass-produced. Godzilla, there's only one of. And he's got his moral conscience in the middle. Which one?
Yeah, which one is he going to decide? Is he going to let Godzilla live when he very well could destroy Godzilla?
Yeah.
Because Serizawa has the fucking power to destroy Godzilla. That's one of the things. Like, you want to talk about fucking human drama? Like, I heard a lot of people hyping up the human drama in the new Godzilla movie.
No.
The human drama in the original Gojira. Especially, like, just looking at Serizawa.
Yeah. I mean,
it's so fucking powerful. Because, like you said, he has the monster that's here, that's killing everybody. And he has the weapon that he created that has the power to kill far more people than Godzilla ever could.
Yeah. And, I mean, the thing is, I mean, Serizawa plays such a key part in that movie. And he probably gets 10, maybe 15 minutes.
No, it was more of that. Probably somewhere around, like, adding up all of the scenes together, probably about 20. Yeah, he probably appears in the movie about 20 minutes.
I would say pushing that. That's pushing it.
Probably pushing it, but
15 to 20 maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, he has the least screen time of any character.
Pretty much, yeah.
And he has the hardest decision to make. And he's the only person with the power
to end it.
And, I mean, like you said when we were watching it, he makes the right decision.
He really does. Like, according to my personal moral compass, Serizawa made the right decision. He fucking ended the threat. He burned all of his notes, and he took himself out. So that no one could ever force him to reveal the secrets of the Oxygen Destroyer.
I mean, not only did he die, he died a horrible death.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
I can't imagine the level of fucking... Just from the way Godzilla was thrashing around.
Yeah. I mean...
I can't imagine that level of pain.
I mean, to have all the oxygen ripped out of your lungs, out of your body... I mean, I don't even want to really think about it.
That's just fucking horrifying.
Yeah. And
he
chose to go out that way.
But that's the thing, is that most movies like this have a hero.
Yeah.
They have that one character who's like, I'm gonna like stand up and take care of shit. Like, you haven't seen Beast from 20,000 Fathoms.
No.
Which we're gonna watch that, but we'll probably do one of these style videos on it too. But in the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, there is one guy who stands up and at the very end he takes care of shit. In Godzilla, that really doesn't happen.
No.
It's more about the collective struggle against this force of nature.
Yeah.
But if there is one character in this movie who could be called the hero of the picture, it's Serizawa.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, he steps up,
does the right thing,
and takes Godzilla out.
And himself. So that because that was the thing. Like, I brought this up. We like mentioned this in passing in the movie while we were watching the movie. But Serizawa, with the Oxygen Destroyer, with the knowledge to create that weapon, he has the potential to become just as big, if not a bigger monster than Godzilla.
Huh? I mean, if he hadn't destroyed his notes, if he hadn't killed himself,
it would have been mass-produced, and that would be, like, used on cities.
I mean, even if he just destroyed his notes, they could still get that information from him.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, he'd have probably been...
Let's be perfectly honest here. No government on Earth
would allow...
At that point, or any other, would be above torturing him
to get that
information about the Oxygen Destroyer and how to make one.
Yeah.
No government on Earth. American, Japanese, Korean,
Russian,
China, Russian, England, everybody. Nobody would be above wanting to have that kind of destructive capability just to keep their enemies in check.
I mean,
even if they didn't use it, they would still be perfectly willing to torture his ass to get that information. So he did the right thing and took himself out so that his knowledge could never be used to harm other people.
Yeah. And that was a badass way to go out.
It really was. Like, mad respect for Serizawa.
Oh yeah.
He went out a fucking hero in my eyes.
Oh yeah. I mean, self-sacrifice saved the world.
Which is what he did. He saved the fucking world.
When he initially wanted to stay out of it. And honestly...
Yeah, he really did. Like, that was a big point in the movie. Like, they brought that up a lot.
Yeah.
When Serizawa is sitting there in his fucking laboratory and he's watching his TV and he's seeing all of these reports about Godzilla just thrashing the fucking city and like it was his own personal fucking mosh pit. And he knows for a fact that he can kill this thing himself. He doesn't need any help.
No.
He can do it by himself.
And
but he doesn't because he's so afraid of what revealing his discovery would do.
No. And it's not until Emiko and Ogata go to his house. Ogata and Serizawa scuffle, ending with Ogata getting hurt.
Not that badly.
Not that bad.
I mean, he may have a concussion.
Maybe. He's at the Coast Guard. He'll get over it.
He'll get over it. He'll be fine. Get that boy a bandage and a beer. He'll be good.
And then the girls sing.
Yeah, that was the fucking... that was after... was that after the second time Godzilla?
Yeah,
the first
that was
time...
after the second time.
Okay, because the first time Godzilla comes in and he just kind of like...
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much stays in the Bay Area.
Yeah, he doesn't really like do any serious
He doesn't even
damage.
breathe fire.
Yeah.
In the first one. Or the atomic breath. Not fire.
He doesn't even breathe atomic fire or whatever it is. But then the second time he comes in and he just like lays fucking waste to the city.
I mean, it is a lake of fire.
And there was that one scene. You know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what
you're talking about. With the fucking mother and her kids.
Yeah.
That was so goddamn heart-wrenching.
The mom sitting there.
She's got 3 kids.
Yeah, 3 kids.
3 kids, yeah. And she's just sitting there holding them.
It's okay. We'll be with Daddy soon.
もうお父ちゃまのそば行くのよ。ねえ、もうすぐお父ちゃまのところへ行くのよ。
Oh God, it was just so like.
I mean,
and Godzilla's right there, like he just wrecked the building right across the street from them.
And I mean, even for 2 cold-hearted bastards like us.
Seriously, that was fucking poignant, yo.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a statement. I mean, the fear and the helplessness.
It was exactly, and it feeds in. Not only does it feed into that whole fear and helplessness and human suffering, it feeds into the whole, this thing is a force of nature.
Yeah.
It's exactly like if a woman and her children were trapped in a city and an earthquake was happening.
No.
Like if a woman and her kids in Atlanta were trapped and an earthquake hit Atlanta and there was no hope for rescue because she had been blocked off because buildings had fallen down all around her. It's okay, we'll be with Daddy soon. No. It was that exact... It wasn't like, damn you, Godzilla, you evil son of a bitch. It was, this is happening, it's inevitable.
Or you're sitting in your house watching a F5 tornado
descend on your town.
Yeah, and just headed right to your house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, what am I gonna do?
There's nothing you can do.
I mean, pray.
It might help.
Beg for forgiveness or whatever from whatever deity you worship, or I mean,
and then we get the scene with all of the fucking radiation, because after Godzilla's second attack, the really big one.
Yeah.
It goes
hospital.
It goes into such tearjerker mode.
Yeah.
Just so powerful, because there's very few words spoken in this particular scene that we're talking about here.
Yeah.
It's all based off of the physical communication from the actors.
Yeah. And the screams and the crying in the background
of the children. And that one girl, because it didn't really start. It started out kind of easy.
Yeah.
With
the
kid sitting there,
the blank stare.
Just the kid. The kid is just in shock, like actual medical shock.
Yeah, I mean, expressionless face, and the doctor's sitting there with the Geiger counter, and
that motherfucker is clicking like a bastard.
And no words are spoken. He just looks at Emiko and shakes his head.
He just looks up at Emiko and then they get up and they walk off.
その後ゴジラは一旦外海へ逃れた模様であります。新たに山の博士を標とする対策研究班が設置されました。この時間の主な項目でありました。ニュースをお詫びます。
南海サルベージの尾形さん、南海サルベージの尾形さん、監視船飛行。
And it's just so fucking powerful. Like these children, These children have had their fucking parents taken away by this natural disaster personified in Godzilla. Once again, going back to the whole fucking nuclear power thing. That was exactly what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah.
There were children who were completely fucking irradiated and their parents were dead.
Wow. And
the doctors knew that they weren't going to fucking make it. That psychological trauma. And this movie gets that across so fucking well.
And I mean, it'd be hard to imagine being the doctor. I mean,
oh god, I couldn't even.
That this kid,
I couldn't even
just
think about going there.
Their parents,
Ugh.
And you have that Geiger counter.
And the Geiger counter just told you that this kid has fucking radiation poisoning.
And you're sitting there and you know that within a couple of weeks,
this kid is going to die horribly.
I mean, putting yourself in that doctor's shoes.
It's making my fucking heart clench up just thinking about it.
I mean,
like, goddamn. The courage that it takes.
Yeah. I mean,
to be that guy.
Props to the doctors.
But the fucking the thing is that it is a physical. It's basically showing the world. This is what America did to us.
Yeah. This is the
when
after
this happened
effects of a nuclear attack.
Without specifically being like, America dropped the bomb on us and now we're fucked.
Yeah.
They went about it so much more artfully than that.
Yeah.
It's like there's this giant monster that's the product of nuclear testing. We're not going to say whose.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it invaded our fucking city and it started blowing up our shit and killing our people. And this is the fallout. This is the aftermath that we have to go through.
Well.
So, just really fucking poignant. Really, like, tear jerker from hell, man. Like, I'm a cold-hearted son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But that got me. That really got me. And it got Serizawa, too.
Yeah.
When the people, the children started singing.
Yeah.
Out over the radio. And it flashes over all of these pictures, and there's people, like, treating wounds. Children crying. People praying.
It's like when the Raymond Burr version. The children singing is in there.
Yeah.
But you only hear the children sing. And unless you know Japanese, you don't know what they're saying.
Exactly.
So
when you watch the subtitled version now,
and you see the lyrics
it's
pop up.
It's so much more powerful.
It is.
When you know what they're saying.
It's like, let light and hope return to us.
Protect us from destruction, that kind of thing. Like, we can't remember the actual lyrics to the song.
I mean,
but
it's heart-wrenching.
It really is, man.
I mean, to know that these kids have just witnessed this, and
most of them are probably going to die from radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are dead. It doesn't matter if they're walking around and crying for their parents; they're dead already because of the radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
So I mean, like the movie is just so powerful on its own, which is what I think distinguishes the first Godzilla movie, especially Gojira, fuck King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
Which distinguishes Gojira from every other monster movie that came before or after.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason behind why every time Toho wants to start a new series, they just act like the rest of them never have it.
Yeah, because with did they do that with the 90s versions?
I can't remember if they did it with the 90s versions. I know I think they pretty much did it with the Millennium.
With the Millennium, I know that they went in and they were like, okay, Gojira, 1954, that movie happened. Everything else is bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck all that. We're just gonna paint over that. That never happened. Because the vast majority of those movies sucked. I loved them as a kid. Most of them sucked.
I gotta agree with you. I mean,
you can't even fucking fight that one.
I'm not gonna fight it. I mean, seeing as how I'm an uber Godzilla fan, I ought to whoop your ass. But
hey, I love those movies.
I mean,
I'm sitting here. I would watch those movies right now and enjoy the absolute fuck out of them. That doesn't stop me from recognizing that there's serious fucking problems with those movies. But anyway,
I mean, well, what were you gonna say? You were about to say something.
What was I talking about?
I don't know.
Fuck. Well, let's take a new tack then. There has to be something else we can talk about this movie. We've been going. How long have we been going on for? Sorry, I have to check.
An hour.
An hour? We've been talking about this movie for fucking an hour?
I say we wrap it up.
You say we wrap it up?
Yeah,
alright, we'll wrap it up.
it.
Yeah, this is fucking cruel and unusual to make you guys suffer through this this fucking long. All in all,
great movie.
Gojira.
Yeah, Gojira.
Gojira is one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah. Period.
The end. Full stop.
Don't like it, kiss our asses.
Agreed. It's such a good, artful, subtle presentation of the themes, and the deeper context is never thrust into your face. It's not like it's more like a striptease as opposed to watching like full out porn.
Yeah.
It's really artfully done. It's superbly executed. The music is fucking incredible. The acting is amazing. Which, I mean, even in the scene where Godzilla is attacking the radio tower, and the reporters are standing up there.
Terror.
Yeah,
on that dude's face.
You mentioned that. The one reporter who's like, Godzilla is grabbing the tower right now.
I mean, he's sitting there. He's shrinking down from the terror of Godzilla.
And you know nothing's there.
Yeah.
Like, physically, while he's there, nothing is there.
But he emulates the terror of what it would be like if Godzilla was actually there so well.
It's fucking incredible. Like, the acting is great, the music is great, the
storyline is off the chain.
The storyline, yeah, it's off the fucking chain. The deeper meaning and subtext is presented so artfully as to make you really think without being ham-fisted about it. And that's one of the movie's greatest strengths, is that it's not ham-fisted.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't just come out and slap you upside the face with the main premise of the story. Yeah. I mean, it's something that you actually have to dig for.
Well, it's not necessarily that you have to dig for it. It's that you have to think a little bit harder. Yeah. To kind of interpret everything. And that's really one, like, Gojira is right up there with fucking Casablanca, Citizen Kane, the fucking the Phantom of the Opera, all these classic movies, Nosferatu, all these movies that are classics for a fucking reason, because they presented their story and their acting was so good. It's right. It stands alone. It doesn't need the rest of the Godzilla canon.
No.
any of it. It doesn't even need the fucking Millennium movies.
No. I mean, honestly, if they had stopped
With just
this
Gojira.
movie, it would still be epic.
Fucking iconic.
Yes.
Fucking god tier.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that's about all we have to say. We probably rambled long enough, put you guys through enough. We appreciate you sitting here listening to us ramble for a fucking hour or more.
Yeah. Thanks for
about
watching.
the original Godzilla movie. Yeah, thanks for watching. We're gonna cut it here. We're gonna go watch the Raymond Burr version. Record our reaction to that. I'll probably put that video up sometime soon after this. And if we feel like going off about it, we'll probably record another video like this about that one.
Ironside's lost his wheelchair.
Alright, well, thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate it. Y'all have a good night, day, afternoon, weekend, what the fuck ever. We'll catch you guys in the next video.